This is Home Improvement USA, the program where the industry experts give the best information on home improvement products and services. Join us now as we begin this hour of Home Improvement USA.
And welcome to Home Improvement USA, your home improvement information source. I'm Dave Rush, glad to be with you today. And we're going to start it off talking about energy efficiency. And more specifically, room-by-room, zone-controlled, ductless mini splits featuring a thermostat in every room. How about that? And to do that from Fujitsu General America, we bring in Andy Armstrong. Andy, how are you today?
I am great, Dave.
All right. Good to be with you. And Andy, you heard me say it. Room-by-room, zone-controlled, ductless mini splits featuring a thermostat in every room. But you're from the company, so why don't you get a little bit more specific on this? What is it, and how does it work?
Well, ductless technology has been around for a long time, Dave, and I had the pleasure of listening to you and Steve last month talk to Scott from Unico, talking about the high-velocity systems, and ductless, like high-velocity systems, are just another creative way to get comfort to your home. And they've been using this technology in Asia for several years, and over the last 15, 20 years, it's been coming to the U.S. and becoming much more popular. And traditionally in this country, it was used in a one-to-one setting where you would have a space in the house where you just couldn't get heating or cooling, say a sunroom or a refinished attic, and that was a great way to get a ductless system up on the wall and get comfort to that space. Today, we've expanded that and have come up with solutions that allow one outdoor unit and as many as 9 indoor units to get custom zone comfort to each room in the house. That gives you a whole lot of advantages, but mostly gives you a little bit of control in a world when we don't have quite as much as we'd like to.
Okay, so this is interesting. So instead of having a whole heating system that has one central part that distributes to all the rooms, you go individually and you control the temperatures in each different room. Do you do this in new homes, or do you refit old homes, or both? Tell us all about that.
We do both, and it really depends on the needs of the home, and it's a great conversation to have with your contractor to decide. But it all starts with one outdoor unit and feeding just enough refrigerant to the indoor unit that's needed for that space. So that's what makes it very efficient, too. That's what keeps us very cost-effective, is we're only creating enough heating or cooling that's needed in the space you're living in at that time. So we give you a lot of flexibility. And in the new application, you can design it and have it exactly the way you want. The nice thing about older homes is we're only putting small holes in the wall to supply those refrigerant lines, as opposed to rearranging everything to find room to put ductwork and move air throughout the house. So a lot of advantage on both new and older homes.
All right, Andy Armstrong with us from Fujitsu General America. And we're talking energy efficiency here on Home Improvement USA. I'm going to bring in my co-host, Steve Leventhal.
Yeah, Dave and Andy, all I can think of is my office on the southeast corner of the house, which gets a lot of sun exposure and has got a single vent and one little itty-bitty return, and tends to be a lot warmer than the rest of the house.
That's a very, very typical application where we come in very handy. And if you think about a house, there's a whole lot of different reasons why one room may be warmer or colder than the other. Sometimes it's the sun shining in, like you were talking about. Sometimes some rooms have a little bit more infiltration coming from outside. And other times you just want the room to be a different temperature. Say you have a new baby and you want to make sure that baby is staying very warm through the night, but you don't necessarily want your master bedroom the same temperature. A ductless system gives you a lot of flexibility to make sure everybody gets exactly the comfort they want, no matter what the outdoor conditions are and what are causing different temperatures throughout the home.
Now, one problem that people have in the house is one person might like it hot or cooler, temperature variations depending on the person. So something like this can alleviate a problem like that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We can allow, if you have a mother-in-law living in your house and she likes it really warm all the time, a ductless system allows you to do some zoning that doesn't require you to keep that house the same temperature all the time. The one thing we haven't quite figured out yet how to do is to make one side of the bed a different temperature than the other. But different rooms, we do a pretty good job.
Okay. I've actually found, I'm in my mid 50s now. I find I like it a little bit warmer. What about you, Steve? I mean, you're much older than I am, and
Yeah, it's crazy as you say it. There've been a couple of times, though, funny. You've been a couple of times where I've walked in the house and the temperature says it's 72, and I'm like, God, I want to go put a sweatshirt on. I'm not warm. I'm cold.
All right, Andy, tell us a bit about Fujitsu General America.
We have been making heating air conditioning for almost 50 years now. And as I said earlier, we started in Asia, but have been selling heating air conditioning in this country for over 20 years and had great luck. And the important part of Fujitsu General and why it's important to your listeners is the time we spend training our customers, the contractor, because any piece of equipment can fail. But when it's installed properly, serviced properly, and taken care of by a good qualified contractor, you have a great chance of having that piece of equipment last for a long time. We're very proud of our reliability, but we have to give credit to our contractors for installing it right the first time and taking care of it after the fact.
All right. Andy Armstrong with us, Fujitsu General America. Talk about the homes now, say in the past 15 years or so. They're much more energy efficient than they were before. Why is that? And from there, will it continue to be this way and increase in efficiency?
Yeah, a lot of considerations there. The builders have gotten a lot better and a lot better materials to keep the houses very efficient. And that comes from many different reasons. The reasons we need heating and cooling, or obviously the first is infiltration. We have that hot air from outside or cold air from outside getting into our house. And that raises the temperature. We have solar gain coming in from the sun, and that makes the house warmer. We have people in the house that are creating energy and equipment in the house that are creating discomfort in the house. And what builders have done is they've become a lot smarter in adding insulation, wrapping the house and making it much tighter with Tyvek and solutions like that. They're using more fit windows with glazing that keeps the sunlight out. So we've been able to keep that space much, much tighter and therefore not getting the outside air in as often. So that allows us to be much more efficient, which brings down the load on the house. That means we're using less energy to get a given level of cooling or heating in that house. The other thing we've done is we've made the equipment a lot more efficient. So Fujitsu today goes up to 33 SEER, that's a seasonal energy efficiency ratio that all air conditioners use to measure how we compare to each other. And that basically means we use a lot less energy than we used to give you the cooling you need. The same is true on the heating side with the heating seasonal performance ratio. We do the same there, but we've just gotten both less need for heating and cooling the house because we've got better at building them. At the same time, we've made the equipment a lot more efficient, so it costs less to operate.
So, Andy, if I may ask, in the aforementioned room, my office study, which tends to be a little hotter in the summer and a little bit less warm in the winter, how would I go about putting in one of these units?
That's a great question, Steve. And the first thing you need to do is determine the load for that room. And we could take a guess at it, but the best solution for that is for a good qualified contractor to come in and determine what type of walls and windows you have and what type of ceiling and roof. And from there, he can calculate exactly what size unit you need. And then for that type unit, the next step would be you choosing what type of indoor air handler you want. We have them that hang on the wall. They go on the ceiling. They could even be a ducted unit, so you just see a typical register and return like you would on a traditional ducted system. So choosing that indoor head and working with the contractor to get that done, then it's simply installing the outdoor unit and the indoor unit, connecting them with refrigerant lines, running power to both, and you are ready to go.
Andy, what about cost on something like this?
Well, we obviously have a lot of considerations in cost, and they can range a tremendous amount. The best way to find out a good cost is to reach out to a good Fujitsu qualified contractor and ask him for your particular needs what is the best solution, and he can get you a cost very quickly.
All right. Andy Armstrong with us from Fujitsu General America. If somebody were to want to go online and view this and learn about it, where would you suggest they go?
I would recommend ConstantComfort.com, all one word, ConstantComfort.com. And from ConstantComfort.com, you can type in your zip code and find a contractor very close to you, and he will be more than happy to come out and get you squared away on what the best solution is and what type of pricing it will be.
How has this been received, and what are your current customers saying?
There's hundreds of thousands of these units installed in the U.S., and we have very happy customers for a couple of reasons. One, they're getting the comfort they want when they want it, but the second reason is they're very reliable. Well over 99% of the Fujitsu units installed are still out there working and haven't been replaced, and they're still keeping people comfortable. So we're very proud of the level that people are happy with their Fujitsu units.
Andy Armstrong, Fujitsu General America. ConstantComfort.com is the website. And Andy, we thank you for coming on the show today, and we appreciate your contributions to Home Improvement USA. You have a great day, and good luck to you and Fujitsu.
Dave, Steve, thank you guys very much, and keep up the great work.
All right. You are listening to Home Improvement USA. Dave Rush along with Steve Leventhal. Remember, if you would like to contact us, you can go to internetfm.com or kwwradio.com. Contact information is up there. We'd like to hear from you, your show ideas, your comments on the program, all those kind of things. internetfm.com and kwwradio.com. Back with a lot more. Stay tuned.